I'd say good morning, but it's closer to afternoon. No. Of all things, about an hour after my little update last night, just sitting there, just trying to unwind and listening to, YouTube or whatever while I was messing around on a game on my phone, and it was like something reached right in your solar plexus, right underneath where your rib cage is, right below it, and just like grabbed a hold of the stomach and just started just squeezing and twisting it. Like, it was a really bad panic attack last night, and went on for over an hour until I passed out. And today just ran to get, and then today just went by the market or whatever in town so I could grab stuff to drink and grab the dogs some toys, because they don't really have any toys at the house. So I grabbed them each a couple toys and a Chewy. People think that you can be alone for long, extended amounts of time and be okay. And yes, there are people in the world that do that. But when you look at the number of people who can do so without really any issues after a while, like anything like that, that number is extremely rare. It's very low compared to the rest of the human civilization. People in general, you're always going to have your sigma and alpha males, but and same thing with females. You're going to have those leader type roles where there's some out there that can tolerate being a lone wolf, being alone being alone all the time without any issues. But over time, even people like that still desire some sort of human interaction. That type of stuff. They still have friends. They keep their circles small. It's just most people, they don't do well basically being confined to themselves. If that was the case, people like Robin Williams would still be alive. I think you've got, on one hand, you've got one group of people out there who is so heavy on, they mix individualism and independence up to a degree, because it's two separate things. Because we all want to be independent to ourselves, yet in the end we're still dependent on somebody in some form or degree for some reason or cause. Doesn't matter who the fuck out there wants to argue. People can sit there and go, I own my own business, I'm not dependent on anybody. No, you're dependent on every person that comes to your business to purchase your products or your services. You're dependent on, if you're married or you have a significant other, you're dependent on them to stay loyal and faithful to you, to basically be your best friend. That's supposed to be your best friend. We all have our best friends, whether it be from school and work and stuff. But your spouse or significant other is supposed to be your best friend, like your number one. Otherwise, you just need to be single and not risk hurting people. It's just, I think we've gotten to this day and age where you've got these two extremes where either people want to that people have to be completely dependent in every way, shape, or form. And then you've got people on the other end that want to constantly be dependent on a system. And it's like there's no balance in the middle. It's like you can still be an independent human being while still recognizing that there's things in life, in order for you to be independent, you still have to be dependent on something or someone. I've come to realize, and I do have to work on it. I have a bit of a, not a bit, probably a little more than a bit of a codependency, in the degree that it was something that was developed through being alone too much. You know, you spend 5-6 years and 90% of your time is sitting alone. Yeah, I've got my friends. I got my little buddy here and stuff. Yet, until you're there and in that situation and you don't have friends that visit, you don't have family that visit, you don't have anybody, and it's just you, and the one person in that time period you might have had to rely on was just never there. If not physically, then mentally they just were checked out. They were somewhere else. And so you're sitting there alone, nonstop. And it starts to eat at the mind and all that. It does something different. And I realized last night, it's like when I went into that panic attack, like right now I'm still recouping from it, because it's just, it wiped me the fuck out. It's just, I normally would get them before going into a store. I'd normally get them in situations where there's a lot of people. And like anytime I was to go to a concert and all that, I would have to like bury that. And when I was younger, it was easier to deal with. But as you get older, you don't quite have the energy or the energy basically to battle it on a non-stop. You grow tired as you get older. You know, you get mentally tired, emotionally tired, physically tired. It wipes you the fuck out. And I used to not have them so badly when I was younger. Like I said, I was able to bury them. It's just, I don't always get them at home, and when I get them at home, especially now, because it's just me and the animals, they get pretty bad because it's too much. Like even right now, my chest still feels like I got chest punched. It's also, I guess, because Halloween, you know, one holiday after another, basically getting to spend alone. It's like, how many years do I get to keep going through this each holiday season, not knowing if I'll get to see anybody for, you know, whatever holiday, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween, New Year's, birthdays. Birthdays aren't really holidays, but I think of them as individual holidays celebrated by those obviously born on that day and their families. It's just all the time. Anyways, I'm driving through this road construction stuff. Here, I'll show you. They're having to see how the road abruptly stops. The lake used to go right up to that minus like maybe 12 inches out. And they would have problems during the winter time. Obviously, people going off the road because they don't have those barrier things along the road, the side of the road, because there just wasn't room to do it. And if you hit the gravel, like this red gravel that's on this side that I'm on, it'll just sink and just pull you right off the road. I don't know how many times I've seen them pull vans and cars and stuff like that off the side of this before going completely into the lake. Last summer I watched them pull a U-Haul trailer thing. It was like a dolly with a van on it, and then the U-Haul truck towing that, and they had to pull the van and the dolly out of the lake, and the U-Haul itself, the box truck, got really lucky. It didn't go in. All it got was the rear bumper dented for how the dolly thing for the van that the van was on had, I'm not sure if it jackknifed or what, because it was still hitched to the U-Haul, but it might have, when it went down, went under and bent it up, but it was enough to bend the back bumper up. That's why I think people are idiots to drive too fast through here, especially during winter time, because either they're going to end up in a lake or they'll end up going off, like in several spots where it's a 6 to 10 foot drop. And some years the snow gets deep enough there in those spots, it only looks like it's a couple foot drop, so you'll have cars go off the road and they'll disappear into that snow. It's happened a few times, not a whole bunch, but it's happened a couple times or whatever. But yeah, anyways, I'll post up again later or something. I'm headed back home after running to the market to grab stuff to drink and the dog's toys and a couple toys. So, and I gotta get back to my kitty Gordon. Thanks for watching.